Now, I know y'all are students, and I'm a student from Southern Oregon University. My name's Tori.
Yeah!
You know, I heard this thing. It goes, ain't no power like the power of students, because the power of students don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of students, because the power of students don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of students, because the power of students don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of students, because the power of students don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of students, because the power of students don't stop. Say what? Woo! Thank you all for being here. Okay, it's all you, Tony.
Hello, students. I don't know about that. I think there's more of y'all out there. Hello, students. Yeah, we're not alone today, so hello to faculty, staff, and administrators. Are you all out there? Let's take a second to appreciate what is possible when we work together. This right here, this is what power looks like. So thank you all for being here. Give yourselves a round of applause. We want to give a special thank you to all of you who have traveled to be here today, but especially to those that have traveled over 100 miles. 100 miles to be here today. TVCC, EOU, the Bend campuses, Southern Oregon folks. Where y'all at? Let's give another great big round of applause for all the unions like SEIU, AFT, AAUP, OEA. Where y'all at? Truly, truly a big thank you to admin, faculty, and staff who have joined with students to send a message. Let me say that again. Who have joined with students to send a message. That message today is that we need elected officials to reinvest in our institutions and in the students of Oregon. Let's just check. Who here is registered to vote? Raise your hand. And how many people here helped the Vote or Vote campaign register over 55,000 students? Yeah, we did that. We showed up for them, and now we're coming for reciprocity. Together, not alone, but together, we are asking for $755 million for universities. And together, we are asking for $550 million for community colleges. The recession was stabilized on the backs of students, and we can't take it no more. That's it? That's all y'all got for me? We can't take it no more! We can't take it no more! I'm so excited to welcome all of you from across the state today. Today we will have a unified conversation with our state lawmakers. Today's rally is about making our voices heard. Let me hear those voices. Let's make some noise for that $755 million. Let me hear you make some noise for $550 million. That's up. That's what's up. So if you don't know by now, my name is Tony Funches, and I get to be your MC today. I'm a student at PSU, a transfer student from PCC, and I rep students on the board of the Oregon Students of Color Coalition. The Oregon Students of Color Coalition. Yes, we are representing today, and as a student of color, I know personally how difficult it is to afford and access higher education. So this is an important day for me, and I thank each and every one of you for being here. Now, I would like to welcome Dean Wright to the stage. His story. That's right. Make some noise for Dean. His story is the story so many of us share. Dean.
Hello, everyone.
Speak their words.
Hello, we're
Oregon students. My name is Dean Wright, and I'm a transfer student from Clackamas Community College and a current student at Western Oregon University. And like all of you today, I'm here today because higher education and tuition affordability matters to me. We are here to tell the Oregon legislature that they need to reinvest in higher education because they set out a goal of 40-40-20. Our higher education institutions across the state are having to raise their tuition to cover the cost. And finally, there's many Oregonians' dreams to go to higher education and get that degree. Personally, for me, I come from a family where my mom had me at 16. She was a single mom my entire life. The most important lesson that she told me was that I need to go to college and get a degree. And that's why I'm here today, because all the hard work that she put in to make sure that I can get a college degree. And I'm here today to make sure that she is proud. And many of you out there have similar stories. We were trying to make your parents proud. We were trying to make your children proud and give them a better life. We were just trying to make yourself proud and improve yourself. Whatever your story is, what brings us together is that we are students. We are Oregon students, and we deserve higher education. As a student representative from Clackamas Community College, I sat in on talks about having to raise tuition and cut programs. Tuition had to increase and programs, activities, and organizations were cut. Students felt hurt. What made them whole on campus was now gone. And a feeling felt across this college was that tuition was increased $5 per credit. That is $60 for a full-time student. That is three tanks of gas they cannot afford to go. That is 3 tanks of gas that you cannot pay for to get to campus, and that is 1 textbook that you might not be able to afford. Whatever story you have, what brings us together, these feelings across the state about not being able to afford and making tough choices, and that makes us Oregon students, and that's why we are here today. We are here today to tell the Oregon legislature that they need to increase and reinvest in higher education. They set out a goal of 40-40-20. They want 100% of students to graduate from high school, 40% of them going and getting a 2-year degree or certificate, and then 40% getting a bachelor's degree or higher. That is 80% of the Oregonian population to have a higher education degree. In order for that to happen, they need to put their money where their mouth is and reinvest in higher education. When you reinvest in higher education, you are reinvesting in the future. Reinvest in students and reinvest in the Oregon future. Thank you, and I now would like to welcome Taylor Marrow.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Taylor Marrow. I am a history professor at Chemeketa Community College. I am also a former community college student, and I'm also a former university student. I am also a student that had to pay for college my whole way. I worked full time, and just like many of you, I also have student loans. The sad reality is that Oregon ranks 47th in higher education funding, and you students and the staff and our culture in Oregon needs to change. We need to change the culture to value education. We need to change the culture to value opportunity for all of our students, for all of our citizens. Oregon has not committed to funding one of the best methods for Oregonians to enter the middle class, and that's higher education. That's a method you can take a family in one generation from poverty to middle class. Community colleges, where I work, we have traditional students that come straight out of high school, but we have a whole host of non-traditional students that are there to get basic education skills, that are there to get skills to work in industry, that are there to get skills to be able to transfer to universities, and we need to restore funding to $550 million. Our students at Chemeketa, our students at our universities are going to be the leaders. They're going to be the consumers. They're going to be the parents. They're going to be the renters. They're going to be the homeowners. They're going to be the business people of our future. And we don't need them strapped with debt. If we want the Oregon economy to grow, we need to invest in education so that our students and that our families can buy houses, so they can buy cars, so they can help stimulate the economy to provide jobs for everyone. Community colleges provide students with opportunity to enrich their lives, opportunity to help our neighborhoods grow, opportunities to teach children, opportunities to become self-fulfilled. We help students achieve the American dream. And if we don't restore education funding, $755 to our universities and $550 to our community colleges, we are not investing in the American dream. It is the 21st century, and we need to commit to everyone. We need to commit to our communities, but more importantly, we need to commit to Oregon. As Oregonians, it is our opportunity to tell our legislature that we are tired of the culture of disinvestment in education. We want a culture where we can pay for our education. We want a culture where we're not strapped with debt, and we want a culture where our kids will have a bright future. 755 and 550. 755 and 550. 755 and 550. 755 and 550. Education is a right and not a privilege. Thank you all very much.
No. Back there. Can we get all the mascots up here with us? We're going to rep all of our schools and institutions that are out here today. Okay, I'll empty it.
Thank you, Taylor Marrow. Figure this out. Thank you, Taylor Marrow. We thank you so much for being here and speaking with our students. My name is Tori Uhara, and I'm a student at Southern Oregon University.
Yeah!
And I have the pleasure of being the executive committee chair of the Oregon Student Association. Today is about students, admin, faculty, and staff coming together, because there is one thing we can all agree on, right? What do we want? Education. And when do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Education.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Education.
And when do we want it?
Now.
Thank you.
We want to take a moment and thank all of those that have come out of the building, took time out of their day to come out here and be with us. We have Representatives Phil Barnhart, Carla Peluso, Chris Gorsuch. Go ahead and give them a round of applause for coming out here with us. We also want to recognize former Speaker Dave Hunt. Go ahead and give him a round of applause. And we have a bunch of HEC board members out here. Give them a round of applause. Up next, we have a very special guest, the representative for Hood River and Central Oregon Community College. Please help me welcome Representative Johnson to the stage.
Everybody hear me? No, we're down. We okay? All right. Thanks for being here, guys. It is such a thrill to see all these kids here. I mean, I feel like college game day came to the Capitol. This is a great thing. So keep up the enthusiasm, because we need to hear it. You know, while you're out here, there's a lot of members in there that are doing the work of legislating and thinking about budgets and policies and stuff, but they got to hear from you guys. They got to hear your stories. So thank you for being here. I just want to say that, you know, it's ironic to me that in this state of Oregon, we can play for the national championship in football, right? Meaning, we can compete at the highest levels when it comes to what goes on in the football field, but when it comes to funding post-secondary education, we are cellar dwellers, right? Does that make sense to you? It's time to change that, okay? Let's start playing for the national championship when it comes to funding education, right? So let's do it. And you guys can light that fire. You got to get in that building this afternoon or tomorrow, whenever you're here, and you got to get into members' office and tell them your story. Tell them what the difference it makes between funding as we have been in the basement and what a difference it would make in your life if we would step up and do the right thing. Here's a question. Hey, show of hands. How many of you all, let's talk about college textbooks. We want to talk about affordability. How many of you all paid $100 in the last term for college textbooks? How many? Show of hands. How about $200? How many paid $200? $300. How many of you know, or maybe do you know somebody who had to choose between putting food on the table and eating and buying college textbooks? Does that seem right in the digital age? One of the things I'm going to be working on the rest of this session is creating a pathway so that you should be able to open source access college textbooks for your basic courses and not have to pay the piper and shell out hundreds of dollars every term. Okay? Ever since I've been in the legislature, this is my third year on House Higher Ed, we have studied this issue, and it's time to put the studies away and take some action. And we're going to do that this session. But our obligation isn't just funding, because you all are getting an education, you're all getting degrees for one reason, right? You want a job. You want a career. We need to make sure that when you graduate, when you put your efforts to mine, you're getting your degree, you're working hard, you're taking on debt. When you graduate, there needs to be a career waiting for you. So that's the other part of the equation you need to talk to these legislators about. It's not just about money, it's about making sure that Oregon has an economy producing the kind of jobs so you guys don't have to go to work at Starbucks to pay off your student loans. Right? So we can do that. You've got some great people behind me. You're going to hear from Representative Buckley in a minute here, but I just want to say thank you for being here. It's a shot in the arm for me. There's obviously a lot of distractions going on in this building, but we can focus on doing what's right for kids, put kids first, students first, and let's get Oregon moving forward. Thanks a lot.
We want to thank you, Representative Johnson. Let's give him another round of applause. We also want to recognize Representative Rob Nose for being out here with us this afternoon. We are grateful to have higher education sponsors in all corners of our state. Next up, we are lucky to have one of the co-chairs for the Ways and Means Committee. This representative has always been a champion for students, and this session we are asking him to once again fight to restore cuts to our schools. Representative Buckley, we have brought you thousands of cards from students all across the state. That's us in there. That's you, that's me, that's all of our classmates. And we're just simply asking, can you help us restore cuts and fund us at $755 million for universities and $560 million for communities? What do you say?
That's heavy.
It is heavy. It is heavy. It is heavy. But so is the burden on the backs of students, and so we recognize that you see that too. So please help me in welcoming our champion, Representative Buckley, to the stage.
Thank you. I'm very proud to represent Road Community College and Southern Oregon University in the legislature.
I'm gonna fix this.
She's gonna fix the mic. Okay. Mic check, mic check.
Mic check.
I'm Representative Peter Buckley. I live in Ashland, Oregon. I represent Road Community College and Southern Oregon University in the legislature, and I'm proud to do so. I also try to represent each one of you to the best of my ability when fighting on the budget to make sure that we fund higher education to the greatest extent we possibly can. But let me tell you something. Our state has to make a decision. And we talked about the decision the legislature made to go to 40-40-20 as a state goal, but our state has to make a decision. Are we going to continue to be a state that has one of the lowest corporate tax rates in the country, that has something called the kicker that sends dollars out in good times and doesn't let us keep them for times of struggle to keep our investments in education solid? Or as a state are each one of us going to decide it's finally time to solve the puzzle, to fund education? As a state, are we going to do that? And you're going to drive that decision because our state has to decide, but it's your generation that's going to force that decision. We've had 25 years. We have had 25 years of disinvestment in education, in K-12, in community colleges, and in our universities. 25 years as a state. That's a decision that we have made as a people. Not just the legislature, all of us. You have to drive the decision. You have to force us to get as high as we possibly can to get the 550 to 755. We have a kicker is looming. That's going to damage our ability to do so if the kicker does kick. But on the 2016 ballot, I believe you're going to have a chance to vote on a revenue package that will finally change the dynamic for our state. Labor is putting a measure on the ballot for your consideration. If education and labor stay together in partnership, if working families and students stay together, we can change the dynamic of our state and finally invest in education at a level that our students of our state deserve. You have to drive it. You drive it. And I promise you this, if you drive it, I will work like hell inside that building. To give you every support and every opportunity that I had growing up, because damn it, I'm not going to rest until you have the same opportunities that I had when I was a kid. Thank you.
As an Ashland resident, I just want to say thank you to Representative Buckley for being here. And as a student looking at you all today, I just feel fired up. So I'd like you all to join me because I feel like we're fired up. We can't take it no more. We're fired up. We can't take it no more. We're fired up. We can't take it no more. Fired up. We can't take it no more. Fired up. We can't take it no more. Woo!
They fired up and
they can't take it no more.
They fired up
and they can't take it no more.
We fired up, can't take it no more.
We're fired up, we can't take it no more. We're fired up, we can't take it no more. We're fired up, we can't take it no more. We're fired up, we can't take it no more. You all are an amazing crowd, and I see students out here, and I know that there is no power like the power of students, and you all prove that in every single way. So I think we gotta do it one more time. Ain't no power like the power of students, cause the power of students don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of students, cause the power of students don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of students, cause the power of students don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of students, cause the power of students don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of students, cause the power of students don't stop. Say what? Thank you.
Wow, you all are fired up and excited. Y'all came to get that money, huh? We come for that 755 and that 550 million. Representative Buckley said he gonna work like hell, so y'all better work like hell too. You better have conversations on your campus, at your homes, on your streets, in your churches, wherever you are, because we came to get that money. Listen, all y'all with cell phones out there, you taking selfies and you Snapchatting and Instagram and all that, use the hashtag. Somebody tell me, what's the hashtag today? Restore the cuts. Somebody say that. Restore the cuts. Restore the cuts. You better hashtag that. You got me in there? You better hashtag that. I need my pictures. Thank you all for being here today. This was the message that we needed to send to those folks that are in there. We needed them to hear us. Let them hear us one more time. This wouldn't be possible if there wasn't over 500 of us busing here from all corners of the states. Give yourselves a round of applause. The session just started, so we've got to keep fighting, all right? And to close out this wonderful event, we're going to have the UO Band one more time Where y'all at? Y'all gonna play for me over there? They're gonna light it up for us up out here, but you are welcome to get lunch now. Please pick up your box lunches at one of the tents on the side steps. Enjoy the band.